keep the conversation going. Analysis now with Hogan Gidley, former national press secretary for the Trump campaign and also former principal deputy press secretary at the White House. Jeffrey Lord also with us, former advisor for the Reagan White House. So welcome, gentlemen, and thanks for coming on. Hogan, to you, just what you've heard today, what stands out?
I think what stands out is the fact that Democrats won't grasp or acknowledge reality. The lack of self-awareness these people tend to exhibit is absolutely stunning. And on top of that, you throw another log onto the fire, their self-righteousness on these matters. It's just grotesque in every form or fashion. We all know that Crossfire Hurricane was political. As outlined in the Durham report, had they simply gone to these early on witnesses, it would have never started in the first place. What these people have done to the country is caused irreparable, immeasurable harm to the American people by their desire to gain and maintain political power. The weaponization of this federal government is absolutely real. The American people are waking up to it and also realizing it. And the Democrats, for whatever reason, are now the defenders of three-letter agencies, the defenders of big corporations and big pharma. Instead of asking serious questions about what they're doing to hurt the American people, they're defending them and they're running interference for them so they can continue to harm us. This hearing is just an exclamation point on the sentence that the American people are being targeted by the federal government. We know it. They know it. They're just trying to continue to cover it up.
Jeffrey Lord, what stands out to you? I know you've been watching this hearing.
Yeah, well, I pretty much expected that Republicans would view Mr. Durham as Elliot Ness and the Democrats would view him as Darth Vader. And that's more or less the way this has played out. You know, one of the things, and Hogan has touched on this a bit, one of the things that I find very noticeable on January 31st of 2017, in other words, 11 days after Donald Trump took office, the Washington Post ran a front page article about resistance within the government to the Trump presidency, and specifically cited the Justice Department as being filled with left-wingers who wanted to shut down as much as they could and damage the Trump presidency. They even interviewed, to my amazement, Newt Gingrich, who said that the Justice Department was filled with far left-wingers and something was going to have to be done about restructuring the Justice Department. Here we are all these years later, and in essence, what we're hearing from Mr. Durham is just that the internals here at the Justice Department and the FBI were structured in such a way to go after President Trump, and they would use everything in their power to weaponize the FBI. This is a real serious problem, as I think Mr. Durham has indicated, and congratulations to him for sticking to his guns.
Yeah, again, called into question potentially his reputation, how he might be viewed. John Durham says that didn't matter how he was viewed in the eyes of the public here. He was clearly determined to just get to the bottom of this special counsel investigation. Hogan, final thoughts from you.
Yeah, I just don't understand, though, and Jeffrey laid out a wonderful case. I've tried to make mine. But the fact is, we know these things are going on. It's been well documented. The Democrats brag about it in a lot of instances. Who is ever going to be held accountable for violating the law, for violating norms? Is anybody ever going to be punished for this? It goes back to what the American people are so furious about. It seems to be a two-tiered system of justice that protects the elites and punishes everybody else. And by the way, the elites include Republicans as well. This is a serious problem, and I think the American people are finally starting to understand just how deep it goes, and they're furious about it, and they should be. The government should not be doing this. It should be blind justice for anyone and everyone, and it is clearly not. And now that we know it, what's going to happen? I think that's the real issue.
Again, no charges have been brought forward, no recommendation of charges from this Durham report, although the FBI said it had implemented a number of changes, corrective actions. That is the statement there from the FBI. Gentlemen, we appreciate you both coming on and sticking with us throughout this hearing. That is Hogan Gidley and Jeffrey Lord. Thank you very much.